We're gonna start with a plank because why not? Let's go ahead and have our hands wide at the top of the mat. Step your feet back 4 inches apart parallel, and we're gonna hold and breathe. Collarbones are wide, lengthening the tailbone from the crown of the head. From here, we're gonna soften the right knee just a tiny bit and dip the right hip a little, and then come back through center. Soften the left knee a tiny bit and dip the left hip a little bit. So we're just gonna rock side to side, warming up the spine, warming up the core, mobilizing the hips, lifting off of the wrists, making sure we're not hanging out in the shoulders. You can think about sending your heart between your shoulder blades. Let's go for 2 more each side. So we're gonna take the right hip down and center, left hip swivels and center, right hip, back to center. This is the last time, left hip, back to center. Shift your weight back with me, going into a pike position. We're not gonna use this as a stretch. What we're gonna do is give our knees a little bend and extend. Think about a seat belt or a hammock being under your hips. You should feel a shaky sensation through the legs as you soften the knees. Try not to change the heels or the hips, and extend. Soften the knees and extend, kind of opening up the back line of the body, reaching the hips up, long and back for 4. This is 3. This is 2. And with control, bring both knees down. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the furniture slider. We're gonna use one to start with and go into a lunge. So we're gonna keep our left foot on the mat, and we're gonna take the ball of the right foot onto your slider, okay? So we're gonna use this really similarly to how we would use the carriage on a WundaFormer. Hands can come on the hips. We're gonna exhale as we bow forward. So the torso tips forward, the left hip reach back, and the right leg reaches long. That's an exhale. And then we're gonna inhale as the upper inner thighs narrow and we come back to standing. The less weight you put on that washcloth or slider or paper plate below your right foot, the more effort you're gonna feel through the core, and the easier it will be for it to slide across the floor. Exhale as you lengthen and reach. Inhale as you bring it up. Let's go ahead and add the arms as well. We're gonna exhale as we lower down, creasing deeply at the hip. Arms come alongside the ears, plug them down into the shoulder blades. Inhale, arms come long with intention, like you're sending them through molasses. Exhaling as we lower into that lunge. Inhaling as we bring it up. Let's go for a few more here. Keeping a long diagonal line in the body as we work, reaching that hip back. Inhaling, upper inner thighs narrow. Exhale as we lower back. Hold this next one, guys. Hold and breathe. Find equal weight across the sole of that left foot. Make sure the knee is just in front of the ankle crease, and think about stretching that thigh bone. If you could stretch your left thigh bone, you'll feel the backside of the leg light up even more. Now we're gonna exhale, soften the right knee and draw it in like a carriage pull. Inhale as you lengthen back. Think about that inner thigh stretching long. Exhale, soften the knee and draw it in. Inhale, reaching the right leg long, kneecap absorbs into quadriceps, arms plug down into the middle back. Exhaling as we draw the knee in. Inhale as we lengthen the leg back. One more like that. We're gonna finish with a little carousel horse. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale to extend. We're gonna bend both knees a lot, but keep the right leg behind you. We're gonna rise the torso up. So now we are in an upright position. Both knees are bent a lot. Take the arms out to a wide V. Change the angle we're working. If it's accessible to you, left heel picks up. So now we're on the balls of both feet. We're gonna exhale as we lower down just a few inches. Inhale as we rise up. Exhale as we lower down. Now we're sharing the weight equally between both balls of feet, all 10 toes. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to rise up. We're gonna go for 4 more here. Glue your eyes ahead of you to assist you with balance, making sure we're on the balls of both feet, not all the way perched up on top of the toe joints. This is 2, isometric challenge. Hold it nice and low. Think about that left thigh bone stretching. Plug the arms in even though they are out to the sides for 4. Navel up and in, 3. This is 2. And this is going to be the last one. Inhale with control, come all the way up and step off of that slider. Okay guys, we're going to keep that slider with us and we're going to go into a single arm push-up. So you can always do this with 2 hands on the floor or with just your left hand on the slider, okay? I'm going to face you so you can see really clearly what is going on with the arms and the hands. So I'm going to get my body into a little bit of a plank position on my knees, okay? The shins are down. Collarbones are wide. The right arm without the slider is going to bend straight back as the left arm slides out. Looks like this. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale, drag it back in. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale, drag it back in. So we're working with the core with stable shoulder girdle. It does not matter how low you go in that sliding push-up. But we want to stay organized. Keep the hips level, keep the collarbones wide. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, sending breath across the collarbones to lift you back up. Exhale as you lower down. We're going to do 2 more. Try not to lock out into the elbow joint. Try to keep some softness in that left elbow. This is going to be our last one on the left arm sliding out. Bring it all the way up and in and sink back. All right, let's set those sliders down just for a moment and we're going to go into some scissors. So we're going to lay down on our back all the way onto your mat. You're going to take a neutral pelvis the whole time. So we want to keep length on the spine the whole time. Think about your inner thigh talking to your waistline to float the left leg up, hold. We're going to pick the head, neck, and shoulders up, and we're going to hold the back side of the left leg. So I have my left hand on the outside, right hand on the inside. I'm going to hover the right leg off the floor, and then I'm going to squish. Right hand is on the outside of the right leg, and now left hand is on the left outer thigh. Right outer thigh with the hand, left outer thigh with the hand. So we're doing a deep abdominal challenge as we're also stretching and lengthening and toning the legs. Scissoring to lift and reach. You can use your hands to give yourself a little bit more deep of a stretch, but try not to tug or yank on the legs, okay? So it's just kind of a deepening of the stretch, inviting the leg deeper into the thigh, into the hip socket as we work. Upper inner thighs are scissoring. Last 4. Find lots of length on the front body as we work. This is the last 2. Last set here. And bring the legs all the way down. All right, let's go ahead and go into a rolling bridge today. Arms are long in the floor, feet are 4 inches apart parallel. We're gonna pick up into a bridge position, glutes sending the pelvis up, and then we're going to lengthen through the spine as we roll down. Arms are actively imprinting into the floor. Neutral spine, pick it up. Melt from behind the heart, lengthening as we lower down. And unwind at the bottom. Lifting. Melting from behind the heart. Think about finding that space as we lengthen the body and lower down. We're gonna add another challenge on if it's accessible to you. Hold it at the top next time. Walk your feet into a closed parallel position. No light between the knees and the big toes. And then from here, guys, we're gonna keep the knees glued together. Right leg extends up. And then we're gonna do the same range of movement. Melt from behind the heart. Slowly lowering down. Return to neutral. Pick it all the way up. Melt from behind the heart. Lengthening down. Unwind to neutral. Pick it up at the top. Melt from behind the heart. Slowly lowering down. Let's hold here. Now all we're going to do is bring the right leg down. We're still in closed parallel. Both legs are down. We're going to pick the hips up off the floor by just about an inch or so. Your pants should still be grazing the floor. I'm gonna move my hands so you can see, and then we're gonna set it down. You're picking it up with your transverse abdominis, your deep abs. So holding that neutral pelvis, you're doing a tiny lift and a tiny lower. So it shouldn't just feel like a shove through the feet or a lift through the hamstrings. Find that connection to that diamond shape across the front of the body, picking the pelvis up. We're gonna do 2 more and then single leg on the other side. This is gonna be our last one. Just barely picking your pants up, set it back down. Arms go long again. If you moved them, float it to the top of a bridge. Left leg extends if that's accessible to you. Melt from behind the heart. If that's not a good choice for your body today, guys, it's always an option to keep both feet down. Lengthening as you reach. Melt from behind the heart. Slowly lowering down. Go ahead and pick it all the way up. This is our last one. Melting from behind the heart. Lengthening down. Come to neutral and bring the leg all the way to the floor. All right, let's go ahead and go into our leg crossovers. I love these for a nice tricep focus and to open up mobility through the hips and the low back. So we're gonna have our hands wide on the mat, collarbones are wide, and we're starting in a 4-point kneeling orientation. From here, we're going to reach the right leg really, really long. So sweeping the top of the foot back, 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 back till the leg lengthens up. We are going to float the right leg up. And here's where the triceps are gonna get a little spicy. So we're gonna walk our forearms down. Notice mine are still hovered. If that's aggressive to you, elbows can always come flat to the floor. So you choose if your elbows are flat or not. Now I'm gonna take the right leg, crossing it over the mat. It's going to touch onto the left side of the floor and bring it back up. The pelvis did not move. So we're lowering down and bringing it back up. To get the triceps really active, you can hover off the mat like so. So the elbows still have a big bend to them, but we have the elbows off the mat. Exhaling as we cross over. Inhale as you lengthen up. Exhale as we cross over. Inhale as we lengthen up. We're gonna do 3 more here. Keep the collarbones wide. Reach that right hip far away from the left hip. Reach your left hip far away from the left ribs. Try not to shorten your waistline. This is our last one here. And bring the leg all the way up. Elbows come down if they were up, and the knee comes down. We're gonna go into downhill skiing next. I'm gonna show you how to do it on the mat if you don't have sliders, or if you have sliders, I'll demonstrate that in just 1 moment. So we're gonna take our hands wide onto the mat. Feet are closed parallel, reaching long behind you. And on the exhale, we're gonna shift the pelvis and the knees towards the left, and then we're gonna shift towards the right. So we're not gonna ride through the shoulder joint. We're gonna use the spine for length, and we're gonna use the pelvis moving, the deep abs moving as our initiator. So you can continue with that movement if you don't have sliders. If you wanna increase the challenge and you do have sliders, it looks like this. You stay on the floor rather than your mat, and then you're gonna draw the knees in and extend, and draw the knees to the other side and extend. So we're just kind of going in a different direction, right? You're either sending your knees back or you're drawing your knees forward. Exhaling as the knees bend. Inhale to extend. Either way works for me. Let's do 3 more. So you can have the sliders or do it on the mat. We're gonna go into 2 more. Broadness through the collarbones, lots of lift and length. Last one, send your body back into a plank and bring both knees all the way to the floor. All right, let's go ahead and go into a shallow curl here today. So we're gonna lay on our backs. If you have a sensitive low back, keep your knees bent. Otherwise, you can send your legs all the way long. Hands come underneath the base of the skull. We're gonna lengthen using our hands like a hammock, like traction, really lengthening the spine. From here, if your low back is sensitive, your knees will be bent like this. Everyone else, I'm gonna ask you to float the right leg up and off the floor. Your knee can be bent if that's aggressive to your body. And we're gonna inhale as we rotate the left shoulder blade up. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, rotate as you do a shallow curl. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale as you rotate. Exhale, back down. Let's layer on. We're going to inhale, right knee bends as you rotate. Exhale as you lengthen. Inhale, find that reach as you swivel through the ribs. Exhale, bring it back down. Last two, extra challenge, that left leg can hover. This is gonna be our last one. Hold and breathe for 5, 4, left leg is up or down, you choose. 3, 2, and bring it all the way down. All right, let's go into that leg crossover on the other side. I'll get the other side of the curl in a minute, I promise. We're gonna be on our hands and knees. You're going to bring your fingertips wide, 4 inches apart with your knees, and we are going to lower the elbows down. So remember, you can choose to have your elbows all the way flat or hovered. The left leg reaches long, 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 and lengthen the leg up and back behind you. Keeping the pelvis steady, we are going to tap the floor off to the right, and then bring the left leg back to start. We want to make sure the whole time we keep lots of length on the right waistline. Inhale as we reach, exhale as we cross over. Additional tricep focus, the elbows are hovered. Inhale for length, exhale to cross over. Think about moving from the top of your left thigh bone rather than moving from the foot. Think about moving from the top of the thigh bone. Reach the right hip long. Looking straight down at the mat. Last one, we're gonna cross that leg over with control. Reach the right hip long, long, long. And bring it all the way up. Go ahead and set the knee down as you bring the elbows up. Okay, let's get that single arm push-up handled on the other side. I'm gonna show it from a profile view this time so you can get a different idea of what's going on with the exercise. So again, we're starting with just the right hand, if you have it, on the slider. Left hand is on the floor and our body is in a kneeling plank position. From here, guys, we're gonna exhale as the left elbow bends, the right hand reaches long with that slider. Inhale to bring it up. Exhale as we send the right arm out to the side. Inhale as we bring it up. The body still stays in its diagonal line. We're not bowing at the waist. We're not allowing the shoulders to pinch forward or the shoulder blades to wing out. We're exhaling to lower down, elbow bend straight back. Inhaling to bring it up. 2 more like that. We're gonna get that ab curl on the other side. And bring it all the way in. All right, lay down on your backs. We're gonna get the ab curl down on the other side. Again, if you have a sensitive low back, guys, simply keep your knees bent. If it's better for you to have the legs long and you're finding more challenge, that's great too. Lengthen the body all the way up. We are going to float the left leg off the floor this time. And now we're gonna think about the right shoulder blade peeling off the floor as we do an ab curl to raise and bring it back down. Try not to add any wrinkles to the front of your shirt or your body as you're rising up. We're inhaling for length as we rotate, peel the right shoulder blade off the floor and bring it back down. Inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, bring it back down. Let's add that layer on. We're gonna bend the left knee in as we draw it in and extend. We're gonna bend the left knee in as we rotate. Try to keep length on the front body the whole time. Extra challenge, you can hover the right leg up and off the floor. We've got just a few more here. Inhale as you rotate and reach. Exhale back through center. Holding it here, isometric challenge, holding and breathing. Lengthen the spine for 3, for 2, and return the legs to the floor and unwind the spine. Go ahead and rise on up. We're gonna go onto our feet and we're gonna get that lunge series handled on the other side. So we're gonna have our right foot on the mat this time and the left foot is on the slider. The ball of the left foot is on the slider. So right foot goes onto the mat, hands come onto the hips to get ourselves orientated. And now we're gonna exhale as we lower down. Right knee comes just in front of the ankle crease. Inhale as you bring it up. Remember guys, the less weight we put into the sliding foot, whether you're on a washcloth or a paper plate or a slider, the more core challenge we're gonna receive, the more connection we'll find between the core and the leg, and the more ease you'll find in the glide. We want to find that ease with that lift. Go ahead and add the arm raise if that's a good choice for you today. Exhaling down, inhaling as you bring it up. Melt the shoulder blades down the spine, bowing forward, stretching that right thigh bone as the knee bends. Imagine you can just stretch that right thigh bone and you'll feel the backside of the leg light up, and you'll also level out the pelvis if you can find that connection. Let's hold the next one low. We're gonna open the arms into a wide V, keeping the knee aligned, big toe, second toe on that right foot, and on the back foot, we're gonna exhale, go for those carriage pulls. Inhale as you extend. Exhale as you bring it in. Inhale as you extend. Just a few more here, nice and light on the slider. Inhaling as we extend. Exhale as we draw it in. We're gonna hold this next one about halfway out. After we draw it in, we're gonna send it out, hold, go ahead and pick up the torso. So now the torso is upright, both knees are bent a lot. Let's take the arms back behind us just a little bit, continue with that tricep reach. And now we're gonna exhale down, inhale up. You can keep your right foot flat or you can pick that right heel up. For additional balance challenge, it's entirely up to you. Scissoring via the upper inner thighs. Exhale as you lower. Inhale as you lengthen up. It's a small range of movement. Narrowing through the upper inner thighs. Thinking about the upper inner thighs kind of like a pair of tweezers to lift you every time. Let's do 2 more, guys. Last one with control, right heel goes down. Inhale, gather, and bring it all the way up. All right, let's go into a little plie series with some rotations. So we're gonna step into a wide second position. We're in a turned out position, but you wanna make sure that you don't overdo it. So we don't wanna go all the way parallel. We wanna be at about a 45-degree angle with our feet. Keeping your sternum over your pubic bone, we're gonna exhale as we lower down. Knees align, big toe, second toe. Inhale as you bring it up. Let's add the arms. We're gonna exhale as we lower down, arms float up. Inhale as we gather and return to start. Exhale as we lower down. Inhale, bring it up. Let's go into a little bit of a bend series, a side bend series. We're gonna exhale as we arc the right ribs. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, arc the left ribs. Inhale, bring it up. Let's go to the right again. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale, bring it up. I feel little cricks and cracks happening in my body. I hope you're finding some delicious opening through your spine this morning too. Exhale as you arc. Think about that tailbone sinking heavily to the floor. Think about length on all sides of the waistline. Check in with your feet. Do you have equal weight across the soles of the feet as we do this? If we dump into just the heels, we're just gonna get a glute max focus. We wanna stay connected to the balls of the feet, the heels, under the big toe, second toe. We wanna find it all. Exhale as we lower, inhale up. This is the last time to the left. We're gonna hold the next one down in our plie. Hold it down in your plie. Bring your hands to the center of your chest. We are going to pick the right heel up as we rotate to the left and put the right heel down through center. Left heel picks up as we rotate to the right. Exhale through center. Inhale, rotate, pick the heel up. Exhale through center. You can really actively imprint the hands together. Find that middle back, biceps, shoulders, triceps. Find all of that connection. You'll find the chest muscles as well. So we're not just throwing away our hands in that pose, we're actively accessing through the postural line of the body, through the upper body as we're efforting. Inhale as you rotate, back through center, hold, imprint the hands strongly together, lower about a ½ inch more deeply into your plie, peel both heels up. Now we're on all 10 toes and the balls of feet. We're gonna lower down ½ inch and raise up ½ inch. Really find the imprinting of those palms and fingers together still. All 10 toes are active, collarbones are wide. Can you get a little bit lower? Staying on the balls of feet, make sure we're not parked at the top of the ankle joint. Last 4, last 3, you got this. Last 2, Last one with control, heels go down, inhale, gather, and rise up. All right, guys, let's go into a little bear crawl. So this one looks pretty simple from the outside, but it takes a lot of connection from the mind through the entire body. So we're gonna start at the back side of the mat. We're gonna come into a 4-point kneeling position, 4 inches apart with our knees and toes, collarbones are wide. Here's the trick. You have to connect your mind to get your right hand and your left knee to hover at the same time. Oh, I just missed it on my first one. Move them forward a bit and try to set them down at the same time. Now the left hand and the right knee come up at the same time and come down at the same time. You are not invited to rock your pelvis or your shoulders. It should all stay really stable as we're doing our little bear crawl up the mat. Draw the navel up and in, collarbones are wide. Thinking about a really sincere connection across the diagonal sling of the body to find the left and the right working in symmetry to pick them up and put them back down. You should feel really intense core effort. I know I am. And now we've reached the top of the mat, so now we're gonna go back. Start with the left hand and the right knee picking up. Slide it back. Right hand and left knee. Slide it back. Left hand and right knee. Try to keep your heart lifting between the shoulder blades. Keep your pelvis really quiet. Keep your navel drawing up and in. There's a lot happening in this really controlled, isolated movement. Let's go for 2 more steps back. Bring your hands and feet level. All right, let's keep on working. We are going to take our left hand onto the mat, not the forearm, and we're gonna bring the left shin down. We're gonna go into a little side flexion. So take the right leg and the right arm long, like so. And from here, we're going to exhale as we draw the limbs toward one another. We don't need to jam the elbow into the knee. And then we're gonna inhale as we extend. And then we're gonna exhale as we draw it in. Inhale to extend. Try not to lock into your standing elbow, into that left elbow. Think about lifting off of it. Exhale, flex through the waistline. Inhale to extend. We would do this on the Wunda chair with our hand on the pedal. So this could be the pedal below that standing hand. Exhale as you bring it in. Inhale to extend. I'm adding a little rotation, a little external rotation to the leg and the arm as I'm working. Exhale. And inhale, the inner thigh and the biceps spiral forward. Inhale, let's do 2 more here. Exhale, and inhale. This is our last one. Holding here for 5. Holding and reaching that right leg long for 4. Lift off of the elbow and shoulder, 3, 2, and with control, bring it in. Let's go into some downhill ski jumping like we would on our back in class. So lay down on your mat. And we're gonna bring our knees and toes glued together. Hands again can be underneath the base of the skull. Interlace your fingers so they're supporting the weight of the head as we float the head up and off the mat, lengthening behind us. Think about the abs picking up the left leg into a tabletop position. You shouldn't feel a grip on the front side of the hip. And then we're gonna think about the core picking up that right leg as well. Knees and toes are glued together. Find a neutral pelvis, so you want to have some space under your low back and your hip bones shining straight up. On our inhale, just like we were jumping off of the jump board, we are going to swivel the knees and toes towards the left. Exhale through center. Inhale, swivel. Let's add the ankle articulation. Exhale like we're landing on the jump board, feet flex. Inhale, we're in flight, rotating. Exhale as we land. Inhale, rotating other side. Flex the feet, activate the back line of the legs. Inhale to extend. Exhale as we soften. Inhale as we reach. Exhaling back, keep the pelvis as quiet as possible. Think about the hamstrings and the psoas, your suspender muscles working together to send the legs long into flight. If you have a sensitive low back, you can always do this, gang, with a less extension and bring it back in. So you're still gonna get good core benefit if you keep your knees a little more softly bent. Let's go for 1 more. Bring the knees in, flex the feet. With control, set the head, neck, and shoulders down, and bring the feet to the floor. All right, let's get that little side flexion handled on the other side. Right hand goes onto the mat, and your right shin goes down with it bent a lot. Your right knee is bent a lot. From here, we are going to lengthen the left arm and the left leg up and off the floor. Exhale as we soften and bring it in. Inhale as you extend and reach. If it's aggressive on your neck, you can always look and gaze down towards the floor a little bit, but you always want to make sure that your head is in line with your spine. You don't want to be looking at the world upright in this position. You want to find it as an extension of the spine. Inhale as you reach. Exhale as you bring it in. You can find that external rotation of the left arm and the left leg as you bring it in. Inhale as you reach. Try not to dump into that right shoulder or elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale to bend. Let's go for 3 more here. This is 2. Last one. Hold it out for 5. Everything's parallel for 4. Hips are stacked for 3, for 2, and bring it all the way down. All right, guys, let's roll out those wrists, and we're gonna go into a 4-point kneeling hover taps, all right? So we're gonna have our hands wide on the mat, shoulder width distance, and we are going to flip the toes under. Our feet and knees are 4 inches apart parallel. Find your neutral spine. So you might wanna kind of let your abs hang forward a little bit like this. You wanna round a little bit like this, and then find the middle ground. That's gonna be your neutral spine with a natural curve to your low back. Soften the elbows, broaden the collarbones, and on your exhale, think about your deep abdominals inviting your knees off the floor. Hold and breathe. Collarbones are wide. Find breath across the collarbones, lengthening tailbone from crown of head. And go ahead and think about your knees like glass, tapping down. Up and bring them back up. You have glass kneecaps. You're gonna set them down. Up, bring them back up. Exhaling down, quick little tap, and bring them back up. Exhale down, bring it back up. Last 2. Hold it up, good news. Cross your right ankle over your left, single knee tap. Left knee only, and bring it up. Left knee only, and bring it up. 2 more like that. Left knee only, and bring it up. Last one, left knee only, bring it up, hold. Right foot goes down, left ankle comes across, tap it down, bring it up. Lengthen with your breath the whole time. Tap it down, bring it up. Last one, down, don't go anywhere, up. Both feet down with control. Set it all the way down. Amazing job, you guys. We made it. Let's stretch. All right, so we're gonna go into a camel stretch today to really open our spine. I'm gonna demonstrate it from the back so that you can see what's going on really clearly. So we're gonna take our feet 4 inches apart parallel. Our hips are shining forward. Left arm rises up and over. You can take your right hand to your hip and kind of open your spine like this, if that feels good to you. It would look something like this. If you want a deeper stretch, we're gonna take our right hand to our thigh. And if you want a deeper stretch still, you can take your right hand to your right heel and open through the left side body, through the hip. Nice deep breath here for 3, 2, and slowly come on up. We're gonna go into a cat-cow. So we're gonna have our hands on the mat, 4-point kneeling position. We're gonna start with opening our heart. Allow the spine to arc downward, looking up. Exhale as we nod and round. Think about lifting from under the rib basket as the tailbone melts down heavily. Inhale, gazing forward. Exhale as you round. Inhale as you gaze forward. Last time, exhaling as we round. Go ahead and bring it up, and let's take that camel stretch on the other side. So we're gonna have our feet 4 inches apart parallel. Right arm comes up and over. You can choose to have your hand on your seat. You can go down to your thigh, or you can go all the way down to your heel. Think about opening through the side body, opening through the lateral side of the hip. Nice deep breath here. Go ahead. and come on up. And you made it. Thanks for being here with me, you guys.